Hello everybody. So today I will talk about calculus. The topic today is about integration. So now I will show you the answer. Question number 1. We need to expand this one in here. S to the power s with the root of number 5 we change for s to the power of 1 over 5 ds. So we have s to the power of 2 divide s to the power of 1 over 5. We can write into s to the power of number 2 minus 1 over 5. Similar for s. And this one. Next, 2 minus 1 over 5, you got about 8 over 5. This one, you got about 4 over 5. And this one, we just write the same. Next, we just put about s to the power of 8 over 5 plus 1 over 8 over 5 plus 1. Similar for the next one. So, as a over 5 plus 1, you will go about 13 over 5. A over 5 plus 1, we have number 1 divided to this one in here. You got about 5 over 13. Now, similar for the next one. This one you got about 9 over 5. So, you got about 6 divided to 9 over 5. We simplify number 3 and number 3. So, that means we got about 5 over 3. And we have number 2 in here. So, you got about 10. So, you got about 10 over 3. This one, we do the same. So, you got about negative 4 over 5. 9 divided to negative 4 over 5. You will got about 45 over 4. And we have the negative. And we put about c in here. Similar for the question number 2. Y to the power of 5 divide y to the power of 2. You got about 5 minus number 2. Oh, sorry. Negative 2y to the power of 3 minus number 2. And this one, we simplify, you got about 2 over y. So, we simplify. So, we got about y to the power of 4 over 4. This one, you got about y squared over 2. This one, you got about number 2 ln of the absolute value of y plus c. Number 2 and number 2, they will simplify. You got about y squared in here. Question number 3. In this situation, we can use about integration by substitution. So we put about u equals to 5 minus 2y to the power of 4 du. We got about negative 8y to the power of 3 dy. Later that we divide both sides with negative number 8. This one we change for u. Y to the power of 3 dy we change for du over negative number 8. And we have number 3 in here. So we put number 3 minus number 8. And this one we change for du over negative number 8. And now we got the final answer. About u, that's it about this one. Question number 4. If we look carefully about x squared minus 6x plus 9, that's it about x minus number 3, everything to the power of 2, and we have another power 2 in here. Power 2 with the power 2, you got about power 4. We simplify x minus 3. You got about power 3 in here. This one we can write into x minus 3 to the power of negative number 3 dx. And we got a final answer. X minus 3 to the power of negative number 3 plus 1 over negative number 3 plus 1, and we put about c in here. Now we simplify. This one you got about negative number 2, and this is about negative number 2 plus c. And that's the final answer. Question number 5. We need to use about integration by substitution. So I just write IPH. So we put about u equals to this one. Later that we put the power 3 for the both sides so we can cancel the root. Later that we do first the derivative of this one. So you got about 3u squared du equals to negative 6x dx. Because we don't have negative number 6, so we need to divide both sides with negative number 6. So about this one, we need to change for u. S dx we change for u squared du with negative number 2. So we have number 4 I will put in here. Now we need to simplify. 4 divided by 2 and we have the negative, so you got about negative number 2. U divided by u, you got about u. So we got about u squared over 2 plus c. We have number 2 and number 2 we simplify and we got about negative number 1. U, that's it about this one. Question number 6. We use IPH, that's about integration by substitution. U equals to 2 minus sine phi s du. You got about negative phi cosine phi s ds. We divide both sides with negative number 5. So, in this situation, we have u minus sine phi s. We change for u. You got about 3 over 4. Cosine phi s with ds. We change for du over negative number 5. So now, we need to do the integral of this one, and that should be about u to the power of 3 over 4 plus 1 over 3 over 4 plus 1, and we put about c. 3 over 4 plus 1, you got about 7 over 4, and that should be about negative number 4 over 35. About u, that's about u minus sine phi s. And that's the answer for question number 6. Question number 7. We need to expand this one. So that should be about 4 minus 12 e to the power of 5s plus 9e to the power of 10s ds. So this one multiply this one, and this one. So we got the final answer. Twelve divided by 2, you got about 6 e to the power of 2s. The last one, we need to use about IBH. So we put about u equal to 4 minus cosine 3s. Du, you got about 3 sine 3s ds. Because we don't have number 3 in here, so we divide both sides with number 3. This one we change for u. Sine 3s ds we change for du over 3. And we have number 4 in here. The integral of du over u square, you got about negative 4 over 3u plus c. U, that's about 4 minus cosine 3s. This is the end. Thank you for watching.